When Tong Nian came home, Tong's father asked her about Zheng Hui's current situation and said that she should bring him and other teammates home to see if there is a chance. When Han Shangyan returned home, he found that Dai Feng was stealing noodles in the kitchen. He asked where Wu Bai had gone, and Dai Feng replied that he had already returned to his room to rest. Han Shangyan then instructed him to come to the room soon and let him see how fast his computer operating was. Dai Feng was dissatisfied, and said why he still didn't forget about training during the new year, but under the urging of Han Shangyan, he had to agree bitterly. Tong Nian sent a message to Han Shangyan, but he didn't reply, so she couldn't help feeling melancholy. On the other side, it was 12 o'clock in the night, and it was already the new year. Dai Feng came to Han Shangyan and congratulated him on a happy new year. The next morning, Grandpa Han came to Han Shangyan's room and knocked loudly on the door to urge him to get up. He also said that Wu Bai got up early and went for a run. Han Shangyan had to get up and went outside. But the funny thing was that when he came there, he just sat there and played games. Wu Bai, who was running by, asked him what was going on. Han Shangyan said it was all Wu Bai's fault. If it wasn't for him, why would he have to fall outside again, and ruined his rare vacation? When Han Shangyan returned home, Grandpa Han accused him dissatisfiedly, saying that he saw yesterday that Han Shangyan didn't care about Tong Nian. In addition, he would take Tong Nian home for the Chinese New Year today, so he should prepare well himself. Han Shangyan had to go to Tong Nian's house as a last resort, and wanted to bring her home. But Dai Feng told him halfway through, it was not good for him to go to Tong Nian's house empty-handed. After all, he should bring her just some kind of gift. Soon, Han Shangyan came to a store and selected a bunch of gifts. Soon, he came to Tong's house. At this time, Tong's mother who opened the door was almost terrified by the full of gifts he brought. When Han Shangyan came to Tong Nian's house, Tong's mother didn't like him very much when she saw him, and said that he just had dinner together yesterday, so he didn't need to come to pay New Year's greetings today. However, Han Shangyan said that he just came to pick up Tong Nian to eat at Grandpa Han's order. When Tong Nian heard that Han Shangyan had come to pick her up, she was overjoyed and dressed herself up beautifully. Han Shangyan picked up Tong Nian into the car, but as soon as Tong Nian got in the car, she was frightened by Dai Feng who suddenly came out of the back seat of the car. The three of them went to the supermarket together to pick out New Year items. During the period, Dai Feng asked Tong Nian if Han Shangyan was cruel to her, and Tong Nian said no. Dai Feng said that was right. He had heard before that anyone who was cruel to outsiders would be gentle towards family members, and conversely, those who were cruel to family members would be cowardly to outsiders. The three of them came outside to get into the car. Han Shangyan asked Tong Nian where his car keys were, but Tong Nian didn't know. While talking, Han Shangyan brought his body close to Tong Nian, which made Tong Nian blushed immediately, thinking that Han Shangyan would want to kiss her. But at this time, Han Shangyan said sternly, the key was in his trousers pocket, and he just wanted her to get it for him. This made Tong Nian feel embarrassed all of a sudden. Soon, the three of them came to a vegetable market again. Han Shangyan selected various ingredients sharply and experienced, which made Tong Nian immediately stunned. When the three returned home, Tong Nian and Dai Feng planned to search for recipes on the internet because they had no experience in cooking. This made Han Shangyan get angry immediately, and invited them out in dissatisfaction. Soon, Wu Bai came back. Han Shangyan asked him to do it, but Wu Bai was also confused. This made Han Shangyan completely angry, and he had to start himself. In the courtyard, Tong Nian happily sang a play for Grandpa Han, and the scene was very happy. Soon, Grandpa Han walked into the back room and told Han Shangyan to help him put a necklace into the dumplings he was making, so that Tong Nian could be pleasantly surprised. That night, all the dishes were ready, and everyone sat at the table. Grandpa Han watched Tong Nian eating dumplings with joy, and wanted to see her happy appearance, but unfortunately, Tong Nian didn't eat the necklace until the end. At this time, Han Shangyan handed over a box and immediately gave the necklace to Tong Nian. It turned out that he just didn't want to use Grandpa Han's strange way of giving gifts. Tong Nian was very happy when she saw this chain. After the meal, Han Shangyan was washing the dishes. During the chat, Dai Feng jokingly said to Tong Nian that Han Shangyan was one of the 3 famous big devils in the team. After that, he said again, it's a pity that Han Shangyan had only lived alone for many years, and this was how he developed his skills. After the party, Han Shangyan drove Tong Nian home, but as soon as he got to her door, he was startled by Do Nan, who suddenly came out. Then Do Nan took Tong Nian back to the back room. A few days later, on the 6th day of the new year, this was the day Han Shangyan had agreed to let the players return to the team. Han Shangyan came to the team. At this time, the team members were already busy, and they were all working hard to prepare for the New Year's battle. When the team members learned that Dai Feng's vacation days were spent in Han Shangyan's house, they came to the bathroom with great interest, lifted the curtain, and at this time Dai Feng was naked, and he immediately became embarrassed. The team members asked him if he spent the New Year in Han Shangyan's house. Dai Feng gave a positive answer, and said that Han Shangyan had made dumplings for himself, which surprised everyone, and felt that the cold Han Shangyan still had such a warm side. Han Shangyan had something to go to Norway. Before leaving, he instructed the team members to train themselves well. After all, he had installed cameras in the team to supervise them. Tong Nian stayed with Yaya, and Tong Nian was excited to find that Han Shangyan had subscribed to her on social media. Soon, she called Han Shangyan again. Han Shangyan told her that he was going abroad soon.